When the drum is going to be slid off, we always make sure that our keyway is in the up position, right? That's the keyway. We want that up. If we have it down, there's a good chance while you're taking it out, it could drop the key either onto your job site and get lost or into the drum. So we want to make sure that that key, which is on the shaft right there, that it stays in the drum. So all the tooling that you'll need to change a drum out and replace your drum on your Lagler Hummel is going to be available in the toolkit. So if you have a new Hummel, this comes with the machine, and then you'll see that's a 36 millimeter wrench, wheel setting tool. All of these are good things to have. One, when you're adjusting paper for tracking, particularly when you put a new drum on, and setting wheel level. Again, the nut on this unit is 36 millimeter if you don't have access to your kit. But so we're going to go over some techniques to get this drum off. Again, very simple, easy repair. You're going to pull this drum off. You do want to know that the Lagler drum is crowned, so it's higher in the middle than it is on the edges, and that helps with tracking. That also goes for the top roller, so you have a higher crown. If you were to put a straight edge on that, you would see daylight on both sides, and the same for the drum. So we do not dress the Hummel Lagler drum. So again, this has a crown on it, and this has a crown on it, and that helps you with belt tracking. Again, the left-handed thread means it comes off by turning clockwise, so to the right to get that nut off. So just slides right off. When the drum is going to be slid off, we always make sure that our keyway is in the up position, right? That's the keyway. We want that up. If we have it down, there's a good chance while you're taking it out, it could drop the key either onto your job site and get lost or into the drum. So we want to make sure that that key, which is on the shaft right there, that it stays in the drum. Another thing that Miguel had mentioned earlier, we do vacuum out and blow out these if it's just regular maintenance and the drum is going to go back on. We will, if we're just replacing bearings or something like that, we will clean this out. That's not a bad idea to get in the habit of, particularly on a long day, a long sanding job, to clean that out. That will affect balance and then transfer to how the machine's going to perform as it's sanding the floor.
New drum. Always add a little bit of grease, use on the shaft. Make sure the key stays.
Right. So if we make sure that the keyway is up, when we put the new drum on, we make sure that the key is up, and then they'll match. And then what you saw them shaking there was just to make sure that it was engaged and in the drum.
Put the nut back on.
And then left-handed, and the nut goes back on. Now, obviously on the job site, if you have this wrench, the other thing you could do is throw a piece of paper on, you know, a belt, put the machine down and use the tension and the grip of the paper to tighten it up with your wrench. So we have the machine flipped over, and I have it in this configuration just to make it easier for Miguel to show you some of the inside options that we want to discuss here with drum pressure. I wanted to show you, this is the top side of what this linkage is attached to, just to give you an idea. And then so we'll make the proper adjustment if any is needed on the depth of this adjusting screw for the tension of this spring on this lever. And then we're going to make sure that the wheels are level by using the chassis that's machined on that tool, and then which wheel, which is the marked arrow one, that gets adjusted. It has a set screw, but it has the arrow. The one with the arrow is the wheel that gets adjusted to level the drum for the cut. All so right. The more exposure that these threads are exposed in here for tightening, you actually are decreasing the pressure of the machine, the aggressiveness of the machine.
So
about 3/8 to a half an inch.
Factory set is like a 3/8.
Right.
Like something like this. Is on here is one nut underneath and one on top. As you see here is two nuts. This is the top.
Right.
Like how you can see here. There's about 3/8, 7/16 of an inch of the thread on this adjusting screw.
Right, and that's all you're doing is putting that tension on that spring from this side lever. As far as the wheel leveling, this is what the tool is for.
Okay.
And he's going to show you where it goes on the lands.
Up.
Yep.
Up here. To here.
So what he's doing is making sure that while working on it underneath, that the handle is set in travel mode so that the wheels are where they need to be up inside the chassis, or down, so that it can be measured. Right, so the two flats right here
It's got to touch the chassis.
and right here are touching the chassis.
And the screw need to touch the wheel just a little bit.
Yep.
A little bit.
So all you're doing is transferring that measurement to the other side so that we get an equal cut. That's it. Pretty simple. All right, so if you have any questions regarding a drum change on your 8-inch Lagler Hummel, parts for that change, whether it's the 6205 bearings that go on this shaft, keyways, drum itself, replacement drums, or tool kits in order to do all this work, you can give us a call at 800-737-1786 or go to cityfloorsupply.com. You can look up the Lagler Hummel item, scroll down, there'll be a PDF file there where you can click on it and get all the part numbers that you need for the drum, bearings, anything you need as far as parts to replace on this machine.